Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. Ricky and Pam join me today, and we have a good time. We're playing a little hide and snack. Not hide and seek. We don't do that here on the show, but hide and snack. Listener Craig out in Louisville gave us an idea for this show. We appreciate that so very much, where we go into all four of the theme parks down at Walt Disney World, and we find a great place to avoid the crowds when you get a little overstimulated. And the busy times are coming up for down at Walt Disney World with Thanksgiving, Christmas, Marathon Weekend, MLK Weekend here in the next few months. Sometimes you don't want to go back to the resort, but you just got to have a few minutes where it's not just crazy busy in the park. So we give you some places to go sit down, get away from all the sights and sounds. But what's our favorite snack in the parks to take with you to enjoy while you're just kind of decompressing for a few minutes? So we play a little hide and snack in all four theme parks on today's show. Did your favorite place make the cut? And if it didn't, come over to the clubhouse and let us know this weekend. Don't forget, our show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our patrons. You guys make this show possible. We could not do this without you. And you can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd love to have you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2579 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from beourguestpodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Hope you're getting ready for a great weekend. I sure am, but man, this is one of those weekends. I am 100% MIZ. You guys know that. You see the studio if you tune in live anytime. My studio it's painted old gold, which is Mizzou gold. It's our colors. You know that I only have my wardrobe is either Run Disney or Mizzou stuff. That is all I wear. I mean, I work from home. This is my dream. If you'd ask my 12-year-old self, what's your dream, Mike Rallman? It's to dress like a defensive coordinator for the University of Missouri. And by God, I get to do that. It's America, man. This is it. But this week, my Mizzou Tigers travel down to Tuscaloosa, Alabama to take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. And I think we have a shot. I say that and I'm just cursing myself, but I'm going to enjoy the heck out of Saturday at 2:30 on Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium. So hold all the calls. Do not text me. People will be texting me like crazy because when my two teams play, I'm always getting texts from all over the country. It's great. It's what football does with friends. But yes, it's going to be a fun weekend for me. Bama, Mizzou, may the best team win. But I'm MIZ all the way. I want to beat the Tide this time. People are like, who are you rooting for? I'm rooting for Mizzou, people. Brady Cook. My guy was in the hospital for over half the game. They took him in a pickup truck during the game, through tailgates, got him an MRI in his uniform, came back on one leg from 14 points down, and we still beat Auburn. Sorry, Ian. I love Ian. She's on the Plan Disney panel, and she's out in Pittsburgh too, Pam. Sorry, but that's her school. All right. And it was God, I loved it. Oh, I'm still on a high. It's still 48 hours later. But anyway, we got to talk Disney. We're going to have fun. Hide and snack today. I love talking snacks, and I love hiding away from crowds a lot of times because sometimes they're after me. Ricky, she's from a DisneyWorldAfterAll.com and the Mouse for Less. Ricky, what's up down in Atlanta? Happy Friday.
Well, you could introduce Pam first, but it's fine.
Pam, Ricky, Scott's in.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all good. I'm sure that this weekend will involve some sort of fall festivities, Halloween, something. I don't know. We did 3 fall festival trunk or treat little bit too much. By the end of the third one, I was like, what did we do to ourselves? But we had a good time, so it was good. Lucy had fun. She is dressed as Mirabelle this year for Halloween because Encanto is like her favorite thing ever. So she absolutely adores Encanto, thanks to Florence. It's like my whenever we're having a meltdown, I just put on and she just zones in. So it is absolutely her favorite. So she is dressed as Mirabelle this year, and she's definitely getting the hang of like this trick-or-treating kind of stuff. We'll see how it goes next week when we actually like go out trick-or-treating. But at the trunk or treats and stuff like that, she's starting to get it a little bit. She's eating the candy, which makes me a little concerned. Like I started eating like a Kit Kat, and I'm like, look at you go! All right, cool.
Kit Kats are super underrated, top quality snacks.
It was good. I mean, it ended up all over her, chocolate just everywhere. Her face smelled like chocolate the rest of the night. Needed a bath, but
and that's nothing wrong with that. That's your job, man. To get the candy all over, cute pictures.
Exactly.
That's why you have a phone. Yes, she's doing it right.
I'm sure this weekend we'll have another trick or treat, trunk or treat kind of deal going on.
God, that's the thing. It's like when we were kids, you got one shot. Like you had like a 3-hour window for the entire year. Now kids get to have like 17 trunk or treats. But I heard a podcast the other day. I was listening to he said his kids, by the time Halloween came around, they didn't even want to go trick or treating because they had been to so many trunk or treats. They're like, Dad, I'll skip it. Like he's like, what? Skip it. This is like the Super Bowl. This is like
this is the night.
All these trunk or treats were like the preseason. Like, what are you talking about? Get that costume on. We are going. They're like, it's cold. They're like, suck it up and put on another layer, kid. We're rolling. I'm telling you, that guy's raising his kids right. But Pam Forrester, you had a 3-hour window, dude. If it was sleeting in Pittsburgh, we're rolling. Let's go. Put the coat on over the costume and just say boo to you. Pam Forrester, co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday. What's up? I'm fired up.
Happy Friday. Yeah, you had to go ahead and do it. Regardless of weather, there was, and if your little face mask for your costume was poking you in the eye.
You couldn't breathe. The moisture that built up in there, it was like a tropical rainforest inside your mask. It just ran down.
It really was. And you could have been in like your cousin's costume, right? From like whenever, like it's a hand-me-down costume from wherever. Like, yes, that became,
Oh,
so
yes.
You just did it. You went and did it. You had to.
And the best costumes were like you had that smock on, and like it didn't look like anything. It just had if you were Yoda, it just had like a picture of Yoda on it. Like you didn't look like Yoda. It was just like green with like a picture. I'm Yoda because it's got a picture of Yoda, and you got like a plastic thing over your face where you have no option to see. You cannot see.
Natural
absolutely, if you try to cross the street, you're gonna get smoked. I mean,
100%. Yes, and they were all some kind of flammable material.
Exactly.
Like nothing natural in the costumes. Yeah, used to create the costumes.
How we are alive to do a podcast at this age, it's a miracle. How we made it through, Halloweens were so unsafe in the 80s. Like, it's a miracle. And my parents, like, I don't even know if like I went with my parents like once I got to be like 8, like. Go.
No, you just did it on your own. Your parents had their own stuff to do that night. Like they had to hand out candy.
Yeah, they stayed home and hand out candy because exactly, the big plastic cauldron, which I think
and
was
by
like
the way,
planter.
it was in the dark. The trick or treat was in the dark.
Well, no. Honest to God, we stayed safe. We got one little glow stick, and I mean, it might have been 2 inches tall, and like that was and it burned out like in 15 minutes. But I was out there for 3 hours. I mean, I came home and like I remember it was a Monday night the one year, and I was pretty young because Howard Cosell was still calling it. And like, I mean, it was in the fourth quarter, and back then the game started at like 8 Central, so I must have come home at like 10:30. I mean, I was freezing.
You went out so much later for sure.
Oh, dude! Oh my God! And I had so much candy. Like I had a big pillowcase full. I mean, we went everywhere.
I'll tell you, here it's the weirdest thing because in our neighborhood, it's seriously maybe an hour.
Yeah,
and it's
same
from,
here. It's over.
It's from maybe 6:30, 7 maybe till 7:38. Like it's done. which is so crazy to me because I remember you wouldn't go out until it got dark. You wouldn't, you go out for what felt like hours, and you'd go to every house
Till
in the
10.
entire
Yeah,
neighborhood.
till 10.
And yeah, it's so crazy to me how like little it is. Matter of fact, I have to try to convince Brian to come home early from work next week because he will miss Halloween if he does not come home early because he won't be home normally. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get him to leave work early next
we
week
can't
for
have
sure.
quitters, dude. If we have people stop like at 7. I'm like 7, dude.
It's not
Dude,
even dark
prime
out.
time, man. Let's go. I get disappointed because we handed out. I'm like, I need more people coming. I need some more costumes. Anyway, all right. So let's get into the topic. By the way, I threw this out on the clubhouse today, and winner chicken dinner was Craig, and he said, "How about a show about places to kind of avoid the crowds within the theme parks, each park, and to get a good snack?" And I thought that'd be a great one because it's almost Halloween. We can kind of call it hide and snack instead of hide and seek. And we have the crowds coming up. So we got, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and you got Marathon Weekend, Martin Luther King weekend. So we got some of these times where it's going to be busy, right? And maybe you don't want to go back to the theme park. You just kind of want to find a place within each of the 4 theme parks where we like to hang out. And I thought since it's Halloween, we'll say at night to make it a little spookier, a little ambiance. And so where would you like to hang out at night in a kind of a secluded place? And what snack would you get anywhere in the park? It doesn't have to be a snack in that place. You can walk across the park, get the snack, sit down there and enjoy it. So we'll go there. So I'll let Ricky pick the park first, and then we'll go from there. So Ricky, what park are we going to first?
Okay, well, I got to start at the Magic Kingdom because
All right, good deal.
I have my favorite spot that I tend to go to, and this is especially at night, so it's perfect. I tend to love going to Main Street USA, that little alcove, the art festival little street that's right there. I will go grab ice cream from the Main Street ice cream parlor, and then I will take it over to that little section right there. Sometimes I'll grab like a confectionery thing from the actual confectionery, or maybe a marshmallow wand or Rice Krispie treat. But usually, if I'm doing this, it's got to be ice cream. I feel like there's just something really special about having ice cream back there. So you grab your ice cream, you sit back there. Hardly anybody comes back there. They all are walking down Main Street USA, and it's just peaceful. You have the world literally walking past you as you watch them, and they have no idea that you're there, and you're just sitting there enjoying a delightful ice cream treat and watching the world go by.
That is good. I love this because we're giving all these good secluded
I know.
spots.
Don't take mine
snacks.
if I come over there. You better get up.
I like this. All right, Pam Forrester, Magic Kingdom.
Get out.
Pam Forrester.
So I am going over to Adventureland, and there is this sort of, it used to be like more seating area, but it's back sort of removed from the main Adventureland to the right. After you go to the sunglass place, if you were to walk over to where Aladdin is, sometimes there's this area that's actually sort of behind a wall. It has these built-in seats that are built in their tile from when the park opened there. And it's really this really hidden area. You hardly see anyone ever back there. If you're looking straight at the Aladdin attraction, if it's in front of you, this is to your right there. So it's really this sort of hidden area. And I would grab something from, of course, where you get all the Dole Whip stuff right there. There's an item called the Tropical Serenade, which uses pog juice and coconut soft serve and has like a little cake pop in it. It was called something else before, like the Cocoa Mora or whatever, that kind of thing. But now it's this, and it's really good. I mean, pog juice, coconut soft serve together. Yes. So you could go back there, and you can, and it is really just a really super secluded spot. And I love that there's still this little nostalgic part in Adventureland that's still available.
I thought you were going to steal mine because mine's in Adventureland too. So mine is right across from Sunshine Tree Terrace, the volcanic benches there. But it's
nice.
there is like a spot that's
Yes.
like it's not on the main path there. It's way back, almost recessed by the Swiss Family Treehouse, and it's off the beaten path. But you can hear the junk. I love the background loops at night
Yes.
in Adventureland. That's why you can hear the drums, the doo 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 doo. You know, and it's some about it at night. I love it with all the lush trees kind of hanging over those seats. They're not the most comfortable, but like you still see people passing. You can even see the castle a little bit too, with the treehouse behind you. And I would have gone over to Tomorrowland and just walked straight across the hub, and I would have brought with me a sweet cream cheese pretzel. Did I say that right? I love those things.
Yes.
God, those things are so good. If you've never had one of those from the lunching pad, and there are a couple other places you can get them around property, but they are so good because it's kind of a simple treat, but it's almost like a dessert because it's got a little sweetness to it, but it's a pretzel and it's not like a terrible, like as far as like caloric, if you're looking for something like you don't want to feel terrible for having something, like you've had a terrible day, like you've eaten horribly, like it's kind of a decent snack, like if you're trying not to be horrible, because like a lot of times I'll have been on my third dessert by then and I'm like, well, I'm gonna have a fourth one, and I get that. I don't feel awful. It's a pretzel, but it's got cream cheese in the inside, so it probably is bad, but it's so good. Oh God, I love those things. They're tasty. God, but if I could be there tonight, just eating that thing with like a Coke Zero, oh, so good. All right, Pam Forrester, what park are we going to next?
So let's go to Animal Kingdom because there's lots of little hidden spaces here, but I really enjoy sort of that area behind the Tree of Life. There's some seating area there. You still do get to see the Tree of Life, but you see the back of the Tree of Life, which is sort of like the backside of the water, but not quite.
And it's gorgeous. It's such a beautiful area that no one really pays attention to, I feel like, for sure. Yeah.
It's really true. You're typically on your way to somewhere else when you're there. So really enjoy that. And where I would go is the Zuri Sweet Shop because they have these peanut butter haystacks. If you have not had them yet, you need to go try it because they're actually so good. They're not really offered at every candy shop. They're here consistently, and sometimes there are other places as well. But this is something to look for. It sort of is. Remember when you used to get those La Choy noodles, right? They were. It's like that sort of, or even it could be like those potato sticks, the potato chip sticks. I think they use something like that to make it. But then they basically like melt peanut butter on them, and they make this really. It's a really good dessert, and it's not too over the top sweet. It's just the right amount of sweet, but it's definitely worth doing. So that's where I would head for that.
That's good.
All
I
right,
like
Ricky, what do you
that.
got?
Zuri's actually has a lot of really great snacks.
They
They
do.
actually we went in there the last trip, and I brought some stuff home, and they have just introduced Werther's there, which is great. But they also have introduced a number of new snacks that are kind of animal themed. So we picked up quite a few of those actually. So they have a number of fantastic new snacks at Zuri's Sweet Shop. So if you're looking for something really good, you definitely want to step there for sure.
Well, I think it's Zuri.
Remember when they had the poop?
Yes.
I do. Yes.
It wasn't
That lasted a hot minute.
Oh wait, poor choice of word. Poor choice of words.
It wasn't poop. It was scat. Remember?
Oh no.
It's called scat.
Okay.
I thought it was so funny.
Yeah, the turds. How many times can you call it something? All right, Ricky, what do you got besides poop, turds, and scat? What do you got? We're totally getting hit with an explicit on this one. Sorry.
Okay, so mine is going to be one that is not probably going to be around much longer, but it's over in Dinoland, and it's the little ice cream shop that's there. It's Dino. Oh my gosh, now I'm blanking on the name.
Trilobite.
Dino Bite. No, it's Dino Bite Snacks, or something like that, because there's Trilobites and then there's Dino Bites. So I knew they had very similar names. But this is the one that's kind of
run
connected
by J.J.
to...
Walker. You don't get that. You're too young. Go ahead. Sorry. Some people will get that.
This is the one that's kind of connected, I think, to Restaurantosaurus. And they have, again, really great ice cream snacks here. It's all about the ice cream for me. But they have the cookie with the ice cream sandwich, and it's the two giant cookies and the ice cream, in the middle, and then they smash it together, and it's just so yummy here. It's usually blazing hot because it's Animal Kingdom, so you definitely want a treat that's, ice cream for sure in Animal Kingdom, I feel like. And it's great because it gets a little busy sometimes, but a lot of times I find that not a lot of people come over here because, usually you're getting ice cream and, you're not like relaxing there, but I may or may not have relaxed there, a time or two. But it's a great little spot just to kind of kick back, unwind a little bit, sit and enjoy an ice cream, and just, again, you can sit so you can watch as the park, kind of walks past you, which is really kind of cool there too. So I really like that spot. Again, it won't be around much longer. It'll be around a little bit because it's not part of the first section that goes for Dinoland. So it'll be around a little bit. Actually, I'm pretty sure this year, I don't think you'll be able to sit there in the Christmas holidays because I think that's where Santa's meeting. Because I saw the concept art and I'm like, this looks awfully familiar. And then I said, oh, I think that's where I usually sit when I get my ice cream. So I think that this year that might be the space used for that. So meet Santa.
I mean, Santa has dibs. Santa calls dibs on
Santa definitely calls dibs. I think he deserves it.
He gets priority.
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay, so now mine is savory for the Animal Kingdom, and some people use this for a meal, but it is a snack, and it's back at Yak and Yeti. It's the chicken fried rice.
Oh yeah, dude, that's good.
I could be influenced because my wife had Panda Express last night, and I'm thinking chicken fried rice, but that Yak and Yeti chicken fried rice is so good. And you can, have you ever eaten outside at the quick service, not the counter service? But if I could go into the counter service, Debbie used to talk about these back in the day, those green beans that were fried.
Oh yeah,
that you dip in the ranch
that
or
was
whatever.
Inside the
That's
restaurant,
inside the table service. That's
yeah.
what we're doing today. But dang, those things were good. She always talked about those things. She was right. They had some kind of sauce you could dip them in. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were basically onion rings. It's fried.
With green beans.
Exactly, with green beans, dude. Anything fried's good. Who cares? It could be a shoestring. But they were rocking. But I'm going to go with the chicken fried rice because it's like a little side order. But man, I don't know what they put that stuff in, but it is good. And you could just go right back. They have like a seating area there on that outside, and it goes back and around in the back. And it's super secluded back there. If like you need to get away from the crowds, like you're overstimulated, that's a great place to escape.
I think we'd be remiss to, of course, mention, Flame Tree. And grab some onion rings from Flame Tree as well as an option, and go to like as far back as you can by the water and just sit and relax by the water and just enjoy your time. I feel like that's another really great space that we have to mention because it's such a peaceful spot. If the birds aren't dive bombing you, but other than that, I feel like it's a really peaceful spot. And a lot of times you'll see they'll have a band performing on the water that, they go around the loop. And so you'll get to see the band perform a little bit too. So you'll get some music in that area. It's a great spot too. I sat by that spot on a recent trip and it was very relaxing.
All right. Well, I'm going to take us over to Epcot and I'm going to get my snack. Man, there's so many choices at Epcot. Holy smokes. Epcot's made for snacking.
It is.
Do they still have the Bomb Kuchkin? Up in,
they do.
Oh, dude, I cannot go away from my Bomb Kuchkin. I'm totally butchering how you say it, but I don't care. It's so good. So I'm getting that, and I'm going to name it, and I'm going to cuddle it, and I'm going to take 7 different pictures of it for Instagram and make it a star before it goes into my belly. And then I'm going to carry it gently. Where am I going to take my Bomb Kuchkin before I eat it and enjoy it very carefully until all the crowds? I'll be carrying it like a running back through the hole. Where should I take it? I'm going to take it because it deserves a place of honor. Best place in Epcot to escape the crowds. I'm going to take it to Japan and enjoy it by the koi pond back there.
Ooh, I knew that.
Yes. I mean, is that not Zen? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited right now. Ricky, just take over.
I'm sorry. Okay, all right. I'm cheating again. I'm gonna go with 2. Because it depends on where I am at World Showcase. So I feel like this is, a good, or where I am in Epcot, whether it's World Showcase or Future World or whatever you want to call it. So I am gonna go if I'm in the front half of the park. I'm gonna go to Starbucks. I'm gonna grab, a drink. No, I'm not grabbing the back, which is where you can get one at Starbucks.
Yes.
But I'm just gonna grab a drink, and I'm gonna go. Actually, they have so many nice tables that are under shade Or they have some nice benches around, just around now that World Celebration area. And really, if you find one that's kind of in the shade, you can, again, people just walk right past you and have no idea that you're there practically. They're literally walking past you, but it's so peaceful and so quiet. So that's one of my spots. But the other spot I'm gonna go with is actually a spot, and I haven't sat here yet, but I thought about it on my last trip, and I said I need to come just relax back here. And for this one, I'm gonna go grab a funnel cake from the America Pavilion.
So good.
And I am actually going to take it to the Morocco Pavilion. And I'm going to enjoy that. They have this little section in the Morocco Pavilion where there's some tables and it's under the covered, like, because they have the outdoor
bazaar,
like market. Yeah, bazaar over there.
I'm cultured.
But it's covered pretty for the most part. So it's really shaded. And it's not usually impacted by the weather very often. And so I'm going to grab my funnel cake and I'm going to sit back there and eat it there because, all too often you're looking for a spot to grab, any kind of snack around World Showcase while you're traveling. And this is the perfect spot. I feel like it's, like I said, I noticed it last trip because they actually have for the Food and Wine Festival, they have and they had the annual pass holder lounge, but they have a lounge for, I think, Florida Blue right now that you can go into. You have to have a pass, but you can kind of go into it, and it's in the old restaurant Marrakesh. And so I went and checked it out. And as I walked past that area, I said, oh my gosh, this is just so peaceful and so lovely. And so I think that I'm going to throw that one in there as an option. And it's going to be my next option when I'm traveling around World Showcase for sure.
Was there a belly dancer?
No, they didn't have any. They didn't have any of the stuff that was part of Restaurant Marrakesh. So I've been there twice recently with the annual pass holder. It was really just a few snacks, and then you could meet a character. I got to meet Genie. And
Makes
then with the
sense.
Florida Blue Lounge that's there right now for the Food and Wine Festival, they have some healthy drinks. And then they also have it's a really cool craft that you can do. It's made with sand and mosaic tiles. And it's really neat. I made one myself, and it's you get to choose the mold that you use and everything like that. It takes about 15 minutes overall to do it, but it's a really cool little craft. It's actually sitting on my bookshelf over there because I thought it was just a really neat little thing that they were doing. So if you can find the Florida Blue pass online.
What is that? An insurance company or something?
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was.
So you can anybody can get one. And you just have to find it online. You just kind of search, and that's how I found it. And anybody can get it, and then you go in there and you can relax a little bit. It's air conditioned, which was lovely when I was there because it was so blazing hot still. And it's just really peaceful. But it's again only and if you want a pass for one of the concerts, if you go there early enough, they may have them still. So they have some passes because they are the sponsor of the Eat to the Beat concert series.
Cool. Good tips. Good. See, pay attention to our show. You might find something that you get to
You
do.
might learn something
Besides where to hide out from the crowds and get chicken fried rice. All right, Pam, what do you got at Epcot?
So I'm going to France actually, and there is on the way back to when you're going to do Remy's ride, there's actually a few tables over there toward the side, right before you go under sort of that sign for Paris, right, or back in there. So that's where I'm going to sit because it's a nice place to go. And if I'm there, I have to go to the Les Halles, the lingerie, right? And there's so many great things to choose from, but I really like, they typically have a quiche that has goat cheese on it. I know goat cheese is sort of, some people either like it or don't like it, but that's a good one. If you don't like goat cheese, they have a ham and Gruyere quiche. They have croissants. They have sandwiches. They have all different kinds of things. Just so many good things to have there. They have macarons. But it really is sort of like this sort of authentic French experience in terms of being back, sitting in this little table at a cafe and just sort of enjoying something really yummy that they made that took a lot of attention to detail. So go in there.
I like that a lot.
Show's making me
That's a great
hungry.
spot.
Yeah, I'm not big on that snack, I don't think, but I'd love to be in that area. I don't think I'm having goat
I'm
cheese.
big on the macarons. So I'll take
Macarons, yeah, I
that.
could do that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
could do that. Yeah, totally. And I'd just go get some ice cream at the house. Yeah, just the
Yeah,
scoops.
that's
Oh, the
that's
ice
a
cream
great
Yeah.
that's a great spot to get ice cream too.
It is
Yeah,
a great
it's
spot.
delightful. They had for a while they had a good pumpkin ice cream. I don't know if they have it
Oh,
right now. I'm sure they still do. It's the pumpkin season.
No
Actually,
thanks.
they had a really good for a time. They had a really good apple pie one, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
I really like that one.
Dude,
I don't know if they have that right now.
vanilla, chocolate, maybe a little cookies and cream. We don't gotta get fancy. All right.
Oh, we
That's why
can get
America's the best. All right, let's go with. Sorry, I'm just kidding. With all of our international listeners, we love you too. I'm a little patriotic today. Okay, so where are we at? How about the studios? I think that's where we're at.
That's
So, Pam, you go
a
first.
little
There, 'cause
harder.
I know there's not a ton of great. Actually, I have one, but go ahead, Pam.
I'm gonna go back, and if you go back by where Rock and Roller Coaster is, you can often find, if not like a little place to sit down, and there is some seating there. You can find like a ledge. There's a lot of landscaping ledges back there.
Yeah, yeah.
Lots of places to sit back there. And I'm going actually to Fairfax Fair. And
Nice.
this is maybe a little heavier than just a snack.
I like
But
it.
they have all these different bowls. They have like a buffalo chicken bowl
Ooh.
and a brisket bowl and a pork belly bowl. Like, yeah, right?
I'm just dinging to every one of these things, man. You're speaking my love language.
They're all this, they all sound fantastic. And it's just a great place to sort of get away from the crowds. Like, really, things can get kind of busy, on those main drags there in Hollywood Studio. And this is really the only people that you have going back to Rock and Roller Coaster are when people are riding the ride or waiting for someone to be done with the ride. So there's often some space there, and it doesn't feel quite as crazy as the rest of everything does.
That's good.
That's a winner. Okay, I got mine real quick. So I'm gonna get a Ronto wrap,
Of course. I expected nothing less of you.
but I wish it was the morning because breakfast Ronto wraps a little bit better. But we're at night, so I can't get a breakfast one unless I have connections, which I don't, and the force is not with me. So I'm getting a Ronto wrap, and I'm going to take it over to Backlot Express.
Oh.
Because if you're looking to escape the crowds, that's a great place.
That is a good place. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of outdoor seating. If the weather's nice, there's a huge outdoor seating area there, and you could totally escape the crowds and just kind of hang out there for a little bit. There's great seating there. Not a whole lot of ambiance. There's not a lot going on over there.
No, there's definitely not.
I mean, you could look at the AT-AT, like stare longingly into the AT-AT's, whiskers that are the double as guns. I mean, that could be something you could do, but not a whole lot happening. But it's a great place to kind of let your senses descent for a few minutes. But with a Ronto wrap. All right, Ricky, close this out. Make it better than what I just had.
That's okay. No. All right. If I can't, I'm gonna cheat here. It's fine. I'm pulling up Pam Forrester. If I can't have a baseline tap house because that place is always crowded, delicious.
Yeah, that's
but
not.
always,
You're not desensitizing there unless you
you're
consider
not
like the smooth
desensitizing there.
jazz
Yeah,
versions
for
of.
sure.
I like the music though. It kind of desensitizes.
Oh, the
me.
music is fantastic. So I can't choose that, even though it's one of my favorite places to go. But I digress. So if I'm gonna go to a place to kind of desensitize and get away from the crowds in a way, there's two spots. One is really honestly, it's in the middle of the park basically, and everybody walks past it and nobody stops there. And so I'm grabbing some popcorn from one of the carts, and I'm going to where Starring Rolls used to be.
Yeah, that's a great spot.
It's
is.
totally great.
Yes, it's sunk down. Nobody sees it.
It is. It's fantastic. It's such a great spot. And everybody walks past it. It used to be such a great restaurant, to grab a sandwich or a little snack or
Black
whatever.
Forest ham, baby. That thing used to be so
Oh,
good. Yes.
So good. I miss it. I wish they'd bring it back. But for now, it's a great place for me to grab a popcorn and sit and eat. Or any other little snack that you want to grab. If you want to grab something from the Starbucks across the street, it's a great spot to bring that over. If you want to have some breakfast from over there or, a pastry or something from Starbucks. But another place that I have recently found, and again, if you find me walking over here, vamos, like let's go. I want the spot. And that is actually over by it's over by Tower of Terror, and it's by the exit of Tower of Terror, and there's these arbors that are sitting over there, and they're so peaceful. You've got the music of the Tower of Terror going. There's not, I don't think benches per se, but there's definitely like ledges, and I've definitely sat on one of the ledges and just kind of hung out there. And usually what I do is I go and grab a coffee from Joffrey's, which is sitting right there. But Joffrey's has, and again, it's one of those, like, sometimes they have it and sometimes they don't. So you can grab one of their giant pink donuts or whatever. But for me, what I like to grab over there is it's their Tower of Terror cookie. And like I said, they only have a limited quantity per day. They don't have them all the time. But it's like this cookies and cream cookie. It's got white chocolate chips in it, but it's purple. So it's not like a black and white cookie. It's like a purple and white cookie. But it's really cool. It's really delicious. It's really good. And it's a great little snack. So grab a coffee, grab one of these cookies and cream cookies if they have it, and just kind of hang out there while you're waiting for your family to ride Tower of Terror, because you don't ride it because you don't like to throw up. So.
It's me. Yeah, I'd just rather just kind of have a cookie than toss mine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, hello.
I mean, it's like eat a cookie or toss them. I'm eating them every time.
I would much rather eat it than toss it. Yeah, for sure.
There should be a shirt right there in the store. Like, eat them or toss them. Your choice. Disney,
Took
you're
a turn I wasn't expecting, but okay.
What can I say
Except you're welcome.
There you go, Disney. There's your next shirt right there in the store. You can charge $39.95 and sell a million of those suckers. Eat them or toss them, and just have the picture of that cookie. Yes,
I love it.
It's perfect.
That's
Thanks,
good.
Ricky. That's good.
You're welcome.
Good stuff.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
exactly. Yeah, yes, Maui.
You're welcome.
Anyway,
Mhm.
all right. So we are going to get out of here. We're trying to have fun here on a Friday, and just give you some ideas for some snacks and places to escape the crowds as it gets busier and you're down there. Because you can still have a great time, but I mean, we all need to decompress for a few minutes. Maybe you got to check an email, or call somebody. Hopefully not, but it's just nice to just like. I mean, because Walt Disney World for the best of us. I mean, they're always bombarding us with smells and sounds and sights, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
But after 8 hours, sometimes you just need a little quiet. Just 10 minutes
Absolutely.
with a pretzel and kind of regroup. All right.
Yes.
Don't forget, our show is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you get to your favorite place, whether it's sailing on those awesome ships with the Disney Cruise Line. Nothing better than passing through those great ears in the port and then having your name announced as you go through the threshold of the ship. What's better than that? An onboard credit to have even more fun on that ship. And that's what we get you when you book with the Magic for Less. And you get little tips to get you ready for the cruise, saying, hey, how about these port adventures? Hey, how about these spa treatments that you can take advantage of? Hey, do you know about Palo or Eshante? I know I can't pronounce that right because I'm not so fancy, but it's spelled correctly in the tip, and it gives you all the great information. You don't have to worry about my pronunciation. That's the great thing about booking with the Magic for Less. You get 100% correct information at the right time so that you have a great cruise. When you go to Walt Disney World, great tips there. Disneyland, you're set. You're going to have an amazing trip. It's going to be great. And the best part, no cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. One extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys make all these shows possible. Couldn't do it without you. You can support us just $5 a month. And for that, you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd love to have you at patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Give us a follow on the social media. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs. Pam's at TMFLT Pam. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. Also, we'll have the live call-in show this Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, 48 hours from now. Give us a call. We're talking Disney. Scott joins me. We have a great time. So we'll see you Sunday night. And in all the times in between, join us in the clubhouse. beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. No ads, no fuss. We just have a good time talking life and talking Disney over there. We'll see you there. All right. Time to get out of here. So for Ricky and Pam, I'm Mike, wishing you a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.